welcome back to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Thursday early afternoon. I hope you're well. Hope you're looking after yourself and you're having a good day. Whatever it is you're up to today, I hope you're enjoying it. And if it is one of those days where it's not going your way and you're not having a good one, tomorrow always comes, all right? Also, the weekend's coming, so that's all something. The weather looks decent, that's always something as well. In this video, we're talking a little bit around Jarrad Branthwaite and sort of the interest surrounding him and Spurs' name being banded about still in there, as well as just want to kind of nuke this whole Anthony Martial Spurs rumour, because it's a legacy rumour that isn't coming true. So I will get rid of it. Just want to say, though, if you're new, give subscribe. You're very much welcome to join us for the journey. And let's I'll tell you what, I'll quickly just talk about Anthony Martial before I talk about Jarrad Branthwaite, just because before I load up what I need to load up and talk about Branthwaite, you know. So, look, it came into the sport that said that Spurs could be interested in signing Anthony Martial for free this summer. It's not going to happen. He was on 250 grand a week at Manchester United. Yes, he'd be on a free. He'd have to take a fifth of that for it to be even deemed worthy, or pay as you play contract, because he's never fit. He's never fit. He misses half a season a year easily. Look, he's not going to be joining Spurs. If he can't handle sitting back with 11 men behind the ball and not pressing and then counter-attacking at Manchester United, he's not going to be able to handle pressing from minute 1 to minute 90 on all fronts and having to play really high impact and high intensity football. It's not going to happen, guys. We'll move on. Let's talk Jarrad Branthwaite more importantly. It's a guy that probably could handle a little bit of a press. So it came from Team Talk, and they were talking about Amadou Onana and Jarrad Branthwaite, and they were sort of mentioning teams that are quite keen on them. And it said that Man United are big fans of Branthwaite, but the minimum £70 million asking price is hard for them to swallow. Other defensive targets like Nice's Jean-Claire Todibo are far more attractive for the Red Devils. However, Manchester United are not alone in their admiration for Branthwaite, and sources have confirmed to Team Talk that Bayern Munich have taken a look from a distance. Ange Postecoglou, meanwhile, has suggested the Englishman to his bosses at Tottenham Hotspur. Now, look, on Branthwaite, I don't think it's crazy to say that we all rate him as a player. You know, people kind of mock it. He's like, oh, he had a bad game against... I can't remember who they played. What was it? Chelsea. Oh, he had a bad game. He had a bad game. Okay, everyone's allowed to have a bad game. He's a youngster. He's allowed to have a bad game. You know, he's had a really good season, and it shows. You know, he had an England call-up, and it was well-deserving of that England call-up. More deserving than most of the players that get England call-ups. Don't get me started on that. But my whole thing is if you do go the Jarrad Branthwaite route and you spend £70 million on him, okay, you have, you know, your centre-back sorted for a good 6-7 years. And, you know, that's a good investment in that regard. The caveat to that is you won't be spending big elsewhere. And by the way, Spurs can spend big. We know they can, but we have to be realistic in the real world that they're not going to. So on that front, I'd rather go the Kelly Adarabioyo route at centre-half on a free, proven, can play the system because we know, we watch them, we can see they can defend in space and they're athletic and can play out from the back. I'd rather go that route and then go and get a good winger and a good six, then go Branthwaite, an all-right winger and an all-right six, because we're not going to spend that kind of money. So I'd rather go cheaper there, go bigger in those two places, because we need them more than we need that centre-back, okay? Also, with next season, you know, as long as things don't go absolutely pear-shaped, we're going to be playing 2 or 3 times a week through Premier League, you know, maybe the Europa League or Champions League if, you know, we do really well towards the end of the season. But let's say it's the Europa League as we stand in the league right now in 5th, FA Cup, League Cups, all that stuff. Although they are getting rid of FA Cup replays from the round 1 onwards because of the Champions League extending, which, by the way, you want to tell me that's just the cartel? You want to tell me that's just the top 6 making that decision? No, it's not. It's also the other guys in and around the top half of the table. You know, your Wolves, your Newcastle, your Villas, they're all making that decision as well. So don't tell me it's a cartel decision. And also, if you go with that argument, you just get over it. You're not really understanding the situation. Because all these teams that are in around the top 8, top 9, 10, they also get involved. Everyone has to vote on these decisions. It's not just the top 6, which they don't like. They don't like that. You prove them with logic. They don't like that. Ooh. But on this front, I'd rather go that free centre half. Go get me a left winger and centre defensive mid, because we're playing 2 or 3 times a week. We barely got by playing in the Premier League this year with injuries. Somewhat of those injuries maybe maybe just unlucky. Some of them maybe also we've overworked these guys. Well, if that's the case and you've got bodies that can come on, you can throw more bodies at different competitions, you can give guys weeks off because they're not having to play maybe in the midweek games. Maybe you do have your backups or your rotational pieces that will come in and do that. But also will then push the starters that maybe you think are your best team to be better. And if they're not, they'll get replaced and someone else will come in and take their position. And that's what we need at Spurs. We haven't had it ever, is a squad that can fight for places. We've always had 11 and a few guys that can maybe rival, but not a lot and never do. We need 2 in every position. To be competitive, you need two in every position. So as much as I'm like, let's go and get those sexy, big 70, 80 million pound transfers, as Ange said, if you gave me, do I want a 100 million pound transfer of 250s? Even for me, thinking Spurs can spend on 100 million, I'd rather 250s because I'd rather a hell of a great squad than a great 11 and not a lot behind it, because you never have that 11 fit. Man City don't have that 11 fit. You know, Arsenal, they've been fairly well this year, but Martinelli's missed time. You know, Liverpool never had that fit, 11. So that's why you need the depth. But anyway, guys, then the video, hope you enjoyed. Drop a like on the video. If you did, hit me in the comments section your thoughts and feelings about the Jarrad Branthwaite deal, about the Anthony Martial rumour. I want to know your thoughts and feelings about both those things. Obviously, if you think we should go Branthwaite and go cheaper elsewhere, let me know why. Give me your reason. Obviously, subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the notification for more. But anyway, guys, then the video, and I will see you all very, very soon. Take care, guys.